afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Miss.
Afternoon, Miss.
All right, so we're going to continue from where we left off yesterday. So we start looking at statistics, and we defined the term statistics, and we looked at two ways in which we can represent statistical data. All right. So I am assuming that you guys went through the exercise and did some work. You did anything? Silence means no. Anyhow, we'll move on where we'll be looking at line graph. Can anyone tell me what is a line graph? We know this is another way in order to represent statistical information. But what do you understand by the term line graph? Yes, Kamadiel, you're saying something?
No, miss.
All right, anybody else? All right, so a line graph basically shows the data, all right, by means of drawing a line, as the name suggested, all right? The line graph basically is a graph which is constructed with a set of points together in consecutive manner. Please note that whenever you are constructing or drawing a line graph, you do not start at the origin. Just like how you do the bar graph where you have the X and Y axes, it's the same way you go about to do the line graph, the same X and Y axes, but like on the paragraph where you have the origin is 0, for the line graph you also have that, but you do not connect your line from the 0. All right? So what we will be doing is that I will give you an example where I need you to construct a line graph, after which you're going to be interpreting that line graph that you constructed. So you will need to get your graph paper. So I'm going to give you a minute to get your graph paper quickly by the time I'm getting up that exercise for us to do. All right, so take a minute, get your graph paper, and then I'm going to put today example for us to go ahead and construct a line graph. Okay? Good. So I have the definition for a line graph. It says a line graph shows the data by means of drawing a line, as the name suggests. This is just a brief definition of a line graph. Now, the first example we have here, it says the table below shows the quantity of bananas in tons grown annually on a farm. All right, and the period there is 1989 till 1993. So this is the year in one column, and this is another year here in the other column. Sorry, the tons or the amount of the quantity of bananas per year in the grown in the other column. So the first part is asking you to draw the line graph. So what I need you to do is to go ahead and draw your line graph. So I'm giving you 2 minutes or 5. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, as a matter of fact, to draw your line graph, and then we're going to go into answering or interpreting the line graph. So please indicate to me when you're finished constructing your line graph. All right? Good. So you constructed your line graph there. What I need you to now to do is to for us to interpret your line graph. So the questions it's asking us to do right now. So you have to use the line graph and answer these questions here for me. So since you're having your line graph in front of you there, the question says, during which period was there the smallest increase in the quantity of bananas? So look at your line graph and tell me during which
Miss
year.
1980. 1988 and 1989.
Everybody agreed with that?
Yes, miss.
That's absolutely correct. Between 1988 and 1989, if you look on the graph, you see there is a very small increase. Good. In which year was the largest increase?
Miss 1991, 1992.
Agree with that? Everyone agree that 1991 to 1992 was the largest increase?
Yes, miss.
That's correct. 1991 to 1992. Good. The third part asks you for the lowest. Was it in which year was the quantity of bananas the lowest? Which year was that?
1986.
That's correct. 1986. And the final question asks you during which period was there a decrease in the quantity of bananas?
1990 to 1991.
1990 to 1991. That's absolutely correct. There was a decrease, all right, in quantity. So it will be 1990 to 1991. Any question? All
Miss,
right.
can you repeat what you said before? You
All right.
broke up.
Okay. So we were just interpreting the line graph that you constructed by answering question B. You had to use a line graph to answer the question. So the first question was asking you, was it during which year or which period? It doesn't ask the year, the period, which is the smallest increase, which has the smallest increase in quantity of the bananas. And we see on the line graph 1988 to 1989, you see that that was smallest. When you connected the dots, you would have seen that from 1988 to 1989, that it was a very small increase. Then it goes on to ask you which was the largest increase. If you look at the line graph again, you can see from 1991 to 1992, there was a great increase. It moved from 500 to 600. Hence, that was the largest increase. The third part asks you in which year was the quantity of bananas the lowest. On the line graph, you will see that in 1986, that is, if you look at the graph, you'll see it starts at 1986, all right, and it keeps going up. It did fall, but it didn't fall much, nor did it reach back as low as 1986, and then it keep rising. So in 1986, it was the lowest. During which period was there a decrease in the bananas? If you look, you would see between 1990, from 1990 to 1991, there was a decrease. All right, and the decrease was just what, 50? 1991, sorry, to 1992. 1990. Yes, it was 250, sorry, not 250 was the difference between those years. Are we clear there?
Yes, Miss, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so you should finish copying that.